Emotional resonance. Why audiences still root for Cha Eun-woo and Moon Ga-young years after their on-screen love story. Every so often, a drama couple emerges that feels more than just scripted romance. It feels real. For countless K-drama fans, Cha Eun-woo and Moon Ga-young embody that rare magic. Their pairing in True Beauty, 2020, sparked not only one of the most talked-about love stories on television, but also created a deep emotional bond with viewers that has lasted long after the drama ended. It wasn't simply about their undeniable visuals. It was about the way they looked at each other, the quiet nuances in their performances, and the emotional resonance they carried into every scene. Years later, audiences are still talking, reminiscing, and, yes, still rooting for them. Why? Because their connection touched something universal, the longing for authentic love, healing, and hope. This article dives deep into why Eun-woo and Ga-young's story continues to thrive in the hearts of fans, examining not only the drama itself but also the subtle forces that keep their pairing alive in collective memory. At its core, True Beauty wasn't just a high school romance. It was about acceptance, vulnerability, and the courage to love someone for who they truly are. Moon Ga-young's portrayal of Lim Ju-gyeong, a girl who hides behind makeup to mask her insecurities, resonated with viewers worldwide. Cha Eun-woo, as Lee Soo-ho, became more than the aloof-faced genius trope. He was a boy quietly hurting, haunted by grief and loneliness. When these two broken characters collided, the screen ignited with relatability. Their chemistry felt organic, never forced, never overacted. A stolen glance in the hallway, a moment of vulnerability under the stars, a soft smile during banter. These subtle beats created an emotional truth that fans could not forget. And that truth lingered. Even after the finale, audiences replayed scenes, shared edits, and quoted lines because the relationship they watched wasn't just about romance. It was about healing. Why do audiences still root for them years later? Much of it lies in the way Eun-woo and Ga-young built their characters. Moon Ga-young's strength. She played Ju-gyeong not as a caricature of insecurity, but as a deeply human character. Her tease carried raw vulnerability, her laughter sparkled with genuine warmth, and her courage to evolve inspired audiences. Cha Eun-woo's growth. Known initially for his visuals, Eun-woo surprised viewers with his emotional depth in True Beauty. His silences spoke as loudly as his words. In Soo-ho's quiet grief and hesitant affection, audiences discovered an actor capable of nuance and sincerity. Together, their performances created what scholars of drama often call an emotional blueprint, a map of feelings that viewers can project onto, revisit, and re-experience long after the final credits roll. K-dramas are global phenomena, but not every couple leaves a cultural footprint. Cha Eun-woo and Moon Ga-young did. Fan edits and tributes. Even today, fan-made videos of their sweetest scenes rack up millions of views on YouTube and TikTok. These edits keep the memory alive, repackaging their romance for new waves of fans. Global relatability. Their story wasn't just Korean, it was universal. Who hasn't felt insecure about their looks or wrestled with hidden pain? Soo-ho and Ju-gyeong became avatars for these universal struggles. Ship culture. Fans coined affectionate ship names, debated endings, and imagined alternate storylines. These what-if conversations extended the lifespan of their pairing far beyond the drama itself. Part of what sustains this emotional resonance is how Eun-woo and Ga-young have carried themselves off-screen. Their behind-the-scenes interactions showed a natural ease, playful banter, and quiet respect that mirrored the affection of their characters. Fans didn't just fall for Soo-ho and Ju-gyeong. They began to root for Eun-woo and Ga-young as people. Moon Ga-young has consistently emphasized growth and authenticity in interviews, while Cha Eun-woo balances idol stardom with humility and thoughtfulness. This sincerity feeds into the narrative that what we saw on screen wasn't just acting. It was an extension of their real selves. So why, years later, do people still want to see them together again, on or off the screen? 1. Unfinished business. Great love stories often feel incomplete. Fans crave reunions because the emotional journey never feels done. 2. symbol of healing. Their story embodied acceptance, and many fans see Eun-woo and Ga-young as symbols of hope in a world obsessed with appearances. 3. Array chemistry. It's not easy to fake chemistry. Some actors look good together, others feel good together. Eun-woo and Ga-young fall in the latter. Their bond seemed effortless, and audiences still crave that magic. 4. The nostalgia factor. True Beauty was more than a drama. It was a moment in time. For many fans, it was the drama that introduced them to K-culture, sparked friendships, or comforted them during personal struggles. Loving Eun-woo and Ga-young is also about holding on to those memories. Part 6. Imagining their future reunion. Fans' desire for a reunion isn't just wishful thinking. It's a testament to the unresolved pull of their chemistry. Whether in another romance, a historical drama, or even a mature melodrama, the potential for Eun-woo and Ga-young to reunite feels like destiny. Imagine Moon Ga-young playing a resilient journalist and Cha Eun-woo a stoic lawyer, their path colliding in a courtroom drama filled with intensity and unspoken longing. Or picture them in a sweeping historical saga where forbidden love and palace intrigue test the strength of their bond. These speculative scenarios fuel fan creativity, keeping the emotional connection alive and thriving. Cha Eun-woo and Moon Ga-young's on-screen love story continues to live on not because of marketing, not because of visuals, but because of emotional resonance. They made viewers feel something genuine, something that outlasted the drama's runtime. They reminded audiences of the beauty of vulnerability, the courage to love, and the hope that even broken people can find healing in each other. Years later, fans aren't just rooting for Soo-ho and Ju Ga-young. They are rooting for Cha Eun-woo and Moon Ga-young, as artists, as individuals, and as a pairing that captured lightning in a bottle. And that is the enduring magic of emotional resonance. Once it touches you, it never truly fades. When fans talk about True Beauty, the conversations always circle back to the same truth. The story of Soo-ho and Ju Ga-young felt like more than a scripted romance. It was as if Cha Eun-woo and Moon Ga-young were not just acting, but truly living out the fragile, tender emotions of two young people finding love in the midst of pain. Their journey from strangers to lovers captured the timeless beauty of first love. The shy glances, the unspoken words, the ache of misunderstandings, and the eventual relief of acceptance. To revisit this journey is to understand why audiences, even years later, continue to hold them in their hearts. One of the most unforgettable aspects of their relationship was the silence. In those early school scenes, when Ju Ga-young nervously avoided Soo-ho's piercing gaze, or when Soo-ho glanced at her just a beat too long before quickly looking away, audiences felt the electricity of a love not yet confessed. These were small moments, but in the language of romance, they spoke volumes. Moon Ga-young's nervous expressions paired with Eun-woo's subtle smirks created a push-and-pull tension that viewers couldn't stop replaying. It wasn't about grand gestures yet. It was about the thrill of possibility, the quiet acknowledgement that something was beginning to bloom. Perhaps the most emotionally charged scene came when Soo-ho first opened up to Ju Ga-young about his inner struggles. Cha Eun-woo, often typecast early in his career as the handsome face, delivered one of his most heartfelt performances here. His voice cracked slightly, his eyes brimmed with unspoken sorrow, and for the first time, the aloof genius of the school looked like a lonely boy just wanting someone to understand him. Moon Ga-young met that vulnerability with warmth, her character listening not just as a classmate but as someone ready to shoulder a piece of his pain. This wasn't about love yet, it was about trust. And trust, as viewers felt, was the seed of something deeper. Every K-drama has a rain scene, but True Beauty remains iconic. As Ju Ga-young stood drenched and embarrassed, fearing that her bay face would ruin everything, Soo-ho's quiet but unwavering presence beside her changed everything. He didn't flinch at her so-called flaws. Instead, he looked at her with the kind of gaze that said, "I see you, the real you, and it's enough." For many fans, this was a moment the romance transcended appearances. It wasn't about makeup or perfection anymore. It was about being fully seen and still loved. And isn't that the ultimate dream for everyone? But true beauty didn't rely solely on heavy emotions. The light-hearted banter between Eunwoo and Ga Young showcased another dimension of their chemistry. Their playful arguments, accidental touches, and cheeky smiles were small but golden. Fans often clipped these scenes into compilations titled things like Cutest Couple Moments because it was clear they looked like they were having fun, not just acting. This authenticity blurred the line between fiction and reality. Were Soo-ho and Ju Gyeong in love? Or were Eunwoo and Ga Young simply enjoying each other's company? For fans, the answer didn't matter. What mattered was the joy those interactions sparked. Of course, no love story is complete without heartbreak. When Soo-ho and Ju Gyeong faced misunderstandings and separations, the emotional weight felt personal to viewers. Moon Ga-young's trembling tears and Eun-woo's restrained heartbreak struck chords with fans who had themselves experienced love slipping through their fingers. These weren't just pretty tears. They were raw emotions, the kind that made viewers type messages like, "I feel this in my soul" across social media. The authenticity of their pain was a reminder that love stories, even fictional ones, can reflect the bittersweet truths of real life. Why these scenes still matter. So why do fans still hold onto these moments years later? Because they weren't just watching characters. They were watching a reflection of their own desires, fears, and hopes. The hallway glances reminded them of their own high school crushes. The rooftop confession mirrored moments when they longed to be understood. The rain scene symbolized the dream of being accepted, flaws and all. The playful banter reflected the sweetness of falling in love. The painful separations echoed their own heartbreaks. In short, Cha Eun-woo and Moon Ga-young didn't just perform a romance. They invited audiences to feel it. And feelings, once stirred so deeply, don't fade easily. Years later, when fans rewatch True Beauty clips or scroll through edits on TikTok, they're not just reminiscing. They are reconnecting with those first emotions, the thrill of butterflies, the ache of heartbreak, the joy of connection. This is why Eun-woo and Ga-young's love story remains evergreen. It's not tied to the era of its release or the popularity of the drama. It's tied to the human experience of love. And as long as people crave stories that make them feel, the memory of Soo-ho and Ju Gyeong will never fade. When we revisit Part 1's themes, the realism of their love story, it becomes clear why Cha Eun-woo and Moon Ga-young still captivate hearts. Their performances transformed a school romance into something deeper, a narrative about vulnerability, acceptance, and the courage to love fully. The beauty of their on-screen connection lies not just in how it unfolded but in how it lingers. The hallway glances,